Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being patient. And you're going to get the raw, unfiltered version of my bead death today because I needed to eat. And Rob brought me food, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to eat. Um, so, how is everyone today? Happy Thursday. Maria, you didn't miss me last night. I missed y'all. Um, I had gone to town to meet my friend Carmen, who is Gathered Crafter, and pick up some orders from her. And we did a little bit of thrifting together. And by the time I got home, it was almost 6 o'clock, and I had a wicked headache. So, yeah, that's what happened. For the first time in I don't even know how long, I rescheduled my bead show. I don't even remember. I think I remember once doing it because we were out of town. I have messaged with her. Her dad is home. He is doing okay for a extremely stubborn gentleman. And, we all know how men are. But yes, when the last time I talked to her, she was had him home from the hospital, was doing some things for him around the house, and then she was heading home. So all is well. And he's actually scheduled for a surgery next week. So they didn't have to do the surgery. They just did some maintenance to get him through until his scheduled surgery. So she's good. She's exhausted and probably going to take the night off. She said that she has shipping to do. She's going to get it all sent out, and then she'll do her regularly scheduled Friday night. So that's where we're at. And gosh, guys, we have a mess. So Jane, before you run off with your hubs, let me find a container because, I hope these are going to work for you. I got these quartz crystals to make your bracelet. They're not faceted, but they are uber crystal clear. So that's going to be your bracelet. And you want it in sterling, right? My blue bracelet I have on. The Appetite or the why did I just lose that name? Guys, my brain is so fried today. I am so losing words. I don't even know. It's cuz I'm tired. No, it's Larimar. Do I go to the doctor? As little as humanly possible. As a semi-retired nurse, that's a very loaded question to ask me. Yes, I regularly take care of what needs to be taken care of. Oh, well, rude. You missed it. I showed you the stones I got for your bracelet. So they didn't have I am the worst patient. They're smooth, they're crystal clear quartz. They're 4 millimeters, and they didn't have any strands of them. So I had to buy them by like the individual bead. So I'm absolutely hoping I got enough. I measured out 7 inches of beads. So I figured that would work. Yeah, I knew you would. And you want it in sterling, right? That's not gonna fall off. I'm such a snot. Y'all, I'm a snot. Um, here we are. So I do not have a project plan today because for some reason, unbeknownst to me, my schedule got wonky. 6.5 sterling. Would you text that to me so I have it? Because I'll forget. Um, Lobster for sterling. Yeah, I have sterling lobsters. Um, I don't think the toggles that I have in sterling are going to look good with that tiny bead. Just personal opinion. Unless you want to wait for me to go. Yeah. Moody Virgo, am I on Instagram? Yes. On Instagram, I'm Tam's Journeys. On um YouTube, and we should be streaming to YouTube. Um on YouTube, it's Tam's Creative Journey, all one word, all munched together. So what we're doing today is just playing, and this is going to be a situation of, hey, I always wanted to know how to do this. Can you show me? Because obviously you can see the disaster of my bead desk. I have stuff everywhere, and I would be more than happy to just randomly grab projects and show you how to do them. I know earlier today in my jewelry show, Moody Virgo had asked me if I could show how to do a charm bracelet and use wire. You got my YouTube note? You did. Huh. So maybe it, and see, there's the problem. I turn it on and it is literally not showing that it's on. Um, Tuesday, when we were in the art room, I turned it on because I was doing the mental health journal demo, and it said it was going, but when I went into my YouTube, I couldn't see it, so I just figured it didn't work. And then after I turned off my that's funny. After I turned off my show, I went into my YouTube to figure out why it wouldn't do it, and the video was there. So our mental health exercise is actually on YouTube. Isn't that exciting? Um, Look at this beautiful pendant that Bailey made for me. I know I'm squirreling like none other today. Um, I got to go up last Thursday. That's why I got mixed up on my schedule, because last Thursday was supposed to be my seller support show, but instead I chose to go to Sedona and spend the day with Bailey. So she made this for me as a gift. It is a beautiful amethyst, and I'm absolutely loving it, and I need to make a chain for it. So that could be on our agenda for the night. Jane, have a beautiful time with your husband. Um, we will miss you. All the things. Have fun. The girls got me. And I mean, worst case scenario, Rob's home and I can make him actually work, right? Just kidding. We need chain. We're gonna roll with this chain because I happen to like this chain, and I sell chain. If anybody is unaware of that, um, oh, Greta, why do you say silly things like that? How are you doing, my friend? I miss you. I hope you're well. Um, Hello, beautiful. How are you? Thank you so very much for the raid. I was actually, y'all, Rob brought me lunch and said I had to eat before I went live. And then Eiffel Loves Vintage. If you guys need Cantha, I am getting Cantha blankets and I am going to start making clothing. Um, much love. Today we are making we're making jewelry today. Yeah. So, there was a request for a charm bracelet, and this is really just, very much fly by the seat of our pants. Normally, I will have a project put together with kits for you to purchase and all the things, and I didn't do that today, um, because it's been a very busy week, and, I've been dealing with a lot of things. So, all of that said, we're gonna just roll with it for the day. To make a charm bracelet, you basically you need some chain, and this is a silver plated pewter. I do sell chain generally in my Wednesday night bead shows. If it is something that you are interested in getting, I can always run it while we're going. I'm in my bead room today, so I have everything next to me. I am going to start with 7 inches. So this is 6 inches. So I need an extra inch here. No, that's not. That's 6 inches. I need an extra inch. So when you, excuse me, when you are playing with, I don't even have my tools out. Look at this. This is how little I have my crap together today. Gracious me, oh my, y'all. If you saw my tool drawer, you would laugh at me for at any given point in my life saying I need more tools. Cause y'all, I'm a tool. I I often say this, I'm a tool hoe. If they come out with a tool, I want it. I want to see it. I want to play with it. Because when I first started beading like 40 some years ago, they didn't have good tools. We often stole the tools out of our husband's toolbox to do what we needed to do. So, oh my gosh, gotta have it. Jump rings. When you are working with jump rings, there's generally a split there. You want to use 2 pairs of pliers. You never pull it open. If you pull it open, you're going to destroy the integrity of that circle. Most jump rings are hardened so they stay in a circle, and once you start messing with that, you're never going to get it in a perfect circle again. So when you're opening one, what you want to do is open it side to side. And of course, this chain is soldered because why would it not be? So I'm going to snip it on that joint and then we're going to do it. So you want to turn it side to side. And if you can see that, I'll get all this off out of the way. What I've just done is I have maintained the integrity of that circle, but I have still opened it so I can put things on there. That is very important when making jewelry that lasts a long time. If you pull it open, it's not going to go back. So keep that in mind. That's just a basic 101 when working with beads and findings is if you get the basics down, you should be okay. The same goes when you're closing it. You want to take your 2 pairs of pliers again and side to side close it back, and you can hear it click into place. So there is our 7-inch chain. We may or may not need a full 7 inches, but I would rather have too much than not enough at this point. If you are interested in getting some of this Rolo chain, it is I believe it's 3 feet for $3. So I try to keep things as inexpensive as possible for you. Um, I'm still working on my old stock. And we all know with all of the price raises and the tariffs and all the things that are going on, prices may be going up. I don't know. I have one of my suppliers that has raised their prices, and I have another one that said no way. So the links are pewter that are silver plated. So, um, charms. So when we're making charms, you can do one of two things. You can use different head pins. Um, well, isn't that a pain in my butt? There's not a dang thing in my bin. What? Y'all, I swear to God, I filled my bin this morning. Why does Whatnot hate me like this? Let me see if I can fix that. Let me just work on that. I don't normally do this from my phone, so you're going to have to be patient with me for a second. Mm, mm, mm. Da, da, da. Uno momento, my friends. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, let me pull it up on the computer. Hold, please. We're going to multitask, and we're going to chat while we're multitasking. Another thing to keep in mind is when you are making jewelry, what is the purpose of said jewelry, right? Is it going to be something that you're going to wear occasionally as, oh, this matches this kind of thing? Or is it going to be something that you wear like I do? I never take my Larimar ring off. So, looking at that, what material do you want to use? Do you want fine metals? Do you want precious metals? Um, do you just want something plated because it's costume jewelry? These are all the things that we take into consideration when making jewelry. It is also things that we take into consideration when pricing. Um, and one of the things that really, I can't, I guess I can say it frustrates me because we have people on the app. Thank you, Carol, for pointing it out because I don't even know, it's a whole thing. But I'm getting ready to fix that. And I'm going to take everything from Wednesday's bead and finding show. And we're just going to dump it in here because that's what we can do. As I was saying, one of the things that kind of frustrates me is there's people on this app that are in the costume jewelry. And believe me, I'm not knocking the sellers because I sell costume jewelry myself that I get from different things. But if you look at it, do you want to spend? I mean, you look at some of the name brand things that are just like uber expensive, 40, 50, $60 for a bracelet that you only wear every once in a while, but yet you cringe at buying a handmade piece of jewelry for 30 or $40. It's kind of crazy to me. I don't understand it. So when you are looking to get jewelry to wear, would it not be beneficial to support creators in the handmade community because you know it's made with love. You know it's made well as long as they know what they're doing. So just keep that in mind when you are shopping around whatnot. What is, what is it that you are looking for? And can somebody in the handmade community fulfill that need? That's a good question. And it's something that we as makers often get frustrated, but at the end of the day, keep in mind we have a lot to offer, and a lot of the handmade community will actually make special pieces for you. Pinned. So this Rolo chain, I have pinned it. Good Lord. So that is for 2 feet. And if you think about you're making bracelets, you could literally get 4 bracelets out of that piece for $3. Bada bing. So that's done. Moody Virgo, give me a color because I need to know what beads to grab to make you some dangles. Green. Lady, you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language, my dear. Green, let's do some. Oh, look. I have some green adventuring here. And I have some. I'm literally pulling beads out of this bucket that I have next to me. Ooh, those are awful big. Those small ones. Here we go. So we have some green. And we're going to get some sparkles because we need sparkles. There's some greens. Okay, sparkles in our life. So when you're making dangles, you're good. How many centimeters did I cut the chain to? Well, I cut it a little long, but right now it is 18 centimeters or 7 inches. You're very welcome. So we're just going to set that aside for now because what we want to do is we want to make some awesome dangles to make this into a blingy charm bracelet. And in doing that, we are going to use head pins. Head pins can come in many different sizes, shapes, colors, all the things. There is such a thing as a ball pin, which has a ball at the end. There is such a thing as a paddle pin. I'm getting there. Which has it's wire that has been smashed flat to create a paddle. We have decorative pins, which have beads soldered on the end. we have just your regular everyday navy head pins. And the purpose of all of this is your regular head pin. It looks like a nail. It's got a flat head on it. The purpose of this is when you string your bead on, it stops. If the holes in your bead are too large for that, you can use a couple of things to fix that. Yes, I do, my darling. You can use what is called a daisy spacer, which I like to do quite often. It gives it a little bit of a decorative end. Another thing that you can use on them is what is called bead caps. And what these do is give you, I think that's going to go through. It's got a big hole in it. So then when you put your bead on with a bead cap, and that's not the right size, but you get the idea, it gives it a decorative flair to the end. There's many different ways to do this. There are hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of different things that you can purchase to make jewelry. You don't have to have it all at once. Start out with some basics, see if you like it, and go from there. One of the reasons that I often supply kits is that if you were to buy each package to create this, even at a reduced price, let's say we need chain, we need head pins, we need eye pins, we need jump rings, we need clasp, we need a couple different strands of beads, we need spacer beads. All of these things are needed and go into making a bracelet. So say we've got 10 packs at the bare minimum of $3 to $5 each, you're spending $30 to $50 to create a bracelet. Yes, you have other things left to make more items, but what if you hate making jewelry? So by purchasing the kits, it kind of gives you a way to play with the things that are available, see if you like it, see what you like to play with, because you never know. You may not want to use bead caps. You prefer to use daisy spacers. Maybe you prefer the bead caps and not the daisy spacers, but now you've got a whole package of both, and what are we going to do? That is one of the fun things with getting kits is you can look at a piece of jewelry, know you like it, you can play with it, and then make a determination of what you actually want to purchase in the future. I sound like an infomercial. So let's just say we're going to do 5 sparkly little beads. Here we go. We're going to need some daisy spacers for them. And this is when I'm designing. This is kind of how I do it. I lay it out. I don't put anything together. I lay it out and I want to see if it's visually pleasing. Is this something that sparks joy in me? Is this something that annoys the ever living crap out of me? These are things we ask ourselves when we are creating jewelry. Um, I like the darker, but I think I want the smooth just for a different. Okay, so we're going to pull these out of the way and we're going to roll with these. So we are going to grab some of these. And I was in Tamika Custom Wood Burning Show yesterday. No, it was Tuesday. gosh. I lost a day because I was gone all day yesterday, so forgive my brain. But anywho, I was in Tamika Custom Wood Burning show, and she was talking about how um, they were, I don't know what the word would be that I would use, but they were kind of cracking jokes about people with dirty fingernails and how gross it was, and go clean your fingernails. And I kind of have the same feeling, but one of the things that struck me was I bounce back and forth between my art room and my bead room. And how many times have I done a show where I didn't do the disclaimer, guys, my nails are clean, this is paint. Um, and so it just made me stop and think about it. And I was kind of chuckling to myself, going, oh, what do they think when they look at me when I've been doing this? So it was a humor moment for me yesterday or Tuesday when she was talking about that. I know, right, Greta? It's like, Chainmail Trish. Hello, my friend. How you doing today? We're playing because I don't have a project planned. So here we are. I know, right? I was just like, oh gosh. I mean, I was gessoing last night. Um, I've washed my hands 50 times, but I still have black gesso under my fingernails. It probably looks hideous and disgusting, but there it is. I gessoed fabric because I'm making a fabric book. Um, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Carmen has got me started on doing slow stitching. Y'all, if you've never done slow stitching, I used to do the fabric books and the slow stitching and all of that, and I hadn't done it for years. And Carmen actually offers kits for it, and I want to support my friends, so I got one. And of course, I was impatient because we do local pickup. So I pulled out some fabric scraps and I started working on one. And I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I missed this. It's a whole thing. So, okay, this is where we're at with this. We got this. I think we're going to do these. Just put some dark in there, every other one, and throw a flower. Um, you're like, I was digging in the dirt with my plants, so deal with it. Right? Dude, when I'm harvesting in the garden and I've got green fingers, I'm like, mm. I mean, most people that know me and hang with me know that I do gardening, know that I have all the herbs growing and all the things, but people that don't know me, I wonder if they often go, ooh, girl. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Of course, I have charms, my darling. Yes, I actually have two gardens. I have one garden for medicinal herbs because I'm an herbalist. And then I have a second garden for food growth. And then a lot of the stuff crosses over because they grow well together. So yeah, I do. Meet me in Jersey. Girl, I lived in Jersey for a year and a half. It was not a pretty thing. I did not mesh well at all. It was cold. I was cranky. People were rude to me. Exactly. I don't need judgmental people in my life. I got y'all. I'm all good. So we're going to start out here. We are going to grab this beautiful little head pin and I'm going to show you how to make a dangle. It is probably one of the easiest things in the world, and I'm going to show you a simple one, and I'm also going to show you a wrapped one. So actually, I'm going to show you the wrapped one first because I want you to see the difference. So I've grabbed a ball head pin. I've grabbed a 4mm daisy spacer. I have one of these green aventurine beads. We are going to throw a little daisy on top of it, and we're going to make a wrapped loop. So needle nose pliers, I sell these pliers. They are needle nose and crimping pliers all in one. Um, these are a great tool to have. Miss V with Whistling Duck Designs. How are you today, my friend? I've given up this year. The deer have been so busy they've been feasting on wild cherries and left my daylilies alone temporarily. Hello, ma'am. Um, well, we're on our off season for growing right now because I used to fight and struggle to do 2 gardens a year. And a couple of years ago, I'm like, I have enough herbs that are dried, I have enough vegetables that are canned. Um, that I decided it was just more work than it was worth to have a summer garden. So basically, if you want to compare the places where y'all have seasons and you start planting in like March, April, that planting season starts for us in August, and we have vegetable garden all winter. So we're really opposite seasons with growing. Okay, I digress. We're going to go to this. So when you're making this, it's going to be a wrapped loop. I hold this up against, I have my needle nose pliers here, and we're going to create a neck that we can wrap around. So I'm holding this up against my finger. I'm pushing with my thumb because I want this to be a 90-degree angle. Okay, can you see that? Can I post pictures of my garden on my Instagram? Yeah, possibly. It's been so long since I've posted on there. It's probably going to take me an hour to remember how to do it. I'm really bad about it. I'm going to take a pair of round nose pliers. It's self explanatory. They've got round noses. I want to put that on the part that's sticking out, one on the bottom, one on top. And however big you want your loop is where you position your pliers. If you want a teeny loop, you position it here. If you want a big loop, you position it here. I usually like to go somewhere in the middle. Again, I'm holding these against my thumb, putting counter pressure, and I am wrapping that all the way around. So this is what it's going to look like. You want to move your plier so it goes to the top. A loop-de-loop. Hello, the naked maple. I hate when you're right. Do you think people would think it was rude and not understand that we're friends if I called you a biatch right now? I hate when you're right. My box is at the post office. They didn't even bring it out because it was so big. She gave me a piece of paper. So I get to go to town tomorrow. I'm so excited. Do you want to come meet me for lunch? Anywho, loops. I'm supposed to be teaching this. Loops. So you have this, you have your loop. If this is kind of wonky over here, see how it's not a perfect circle? It's kind of like an oval-y thing. Put your pliers in there. Take a second pair of pliers, grab the end, and pull it tight. I'm like pulling, counter pulling it tight. So I have that loop. Okay. So once you have that loop, you take a pair of needle nose pliers. I want to hold that loop. I want to maintain, again, we're maintaining the integrity of that circle. It's a whole thing with me. Maintaining the integrity of the circle. I'm going to take a second pair of pliers. I'm holding it in my non-dominant hand. If you're left-handed, you're going to want to hold this in your right hand. You're going to take the end of this with your pliers, maybe, and you want to wrap it around. My hand got awkward, so I'm releasing. I'm turning my hand, and I'm just continuing that wrap. Every time my hand goes awkward, I release, re-grab that end, and just keep wrapping. And what I want to do is attempt to stack those loops right next to each other. And I have had a bazillion times, y'all have told me, I make it look so easy. And then when you go to do it, you struggle. Well, guess what? When you've done something continually for 40 years, you better be not struggling. But at the end of the day, sometimes I do struggle. So if you get to this point and your loops are all wonky, take your little pliers in there and just squish them up. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can squish it up. It's good. I can adjust my loop. I can make it straight. I can do whatever I need to do. The next thing you're going to have is a pair of flush cutters. These are concave here and they're flush or flat on this side. You always want the flat side up against your project because you want a straight cut so as not to poke anybody when you're making jewelry. I'm taking my flat side, I'm up against. When I get it where I want it, I'm going to hold on to this because this will fly. It can stab you, which I demonstrated last week. It can poke you. It could land on the floor. Your kids could get into it. Your pets could get into it. Just hold on to it so it doesn't fly. Then you're going to take your needle nose again and you're just going to tuck that little pokey end in. One of the things I like to do with my crimp pliers, because it has rounded, I just want to make sure that that's all rounded and that it's in there nice and neat. We've created our first angle. That is a wrapped loop. Yes? Any questions? Or shall we go on to a simple loop? I'm going to take a sip of my lovely lemonade that Rob brought me. All right. Moving along, we're going to go to a simple loop. The next thing we're going to do is a simple loop. We're going to start with a head pin with a daisy spacer. We are going to put on our bead. I know Maple's always right. It can get really annoying. You know, being friends with her sometimes is a challenge because she's always right. I just should have kept my mouth shut and known that my happy ass was going to town tomorrow to go to the post office. And I was busy and wasn't paying attention to what was coming out of my mouth. I cursed myself. All right, simple loops. Same concept, but without the wraps. Take your element, however it is you put them on. I want to move up a little bit and I'm bending this over, but I don't have a neck that time. Okay. I have learned space wise how to cut these. Um, if you are so inclined, you can play with it. If I set my bead right here, the end of my finger is approximately 3/8 of an inch. You can measure if you want to. See how I'm holding that piece because I don't want to stab myself again. And you're going to snip it off. So I've just bent it over. I've snipped it off. There you go, Greta. He's listening. I'm going to take these round nose pliers again, holding this, but I want to make sure that this wire is not sticking up. Can you see how that's sticking up? That's a license for disaster. You want it flush up against here because you want everything to curve. Holding it up against my finger, holding that wire, and I am just going to roll that towards myself. Again, when my wrist gets awkward, I release and grab. And you're just going to continue that process, release and grab, until that cut piece hits the wire that you have bent. I'm going to straighten it out a little bit because I got it a little bent. And that is a simple loop. Depending upon the quality of your beads, the weight of your beads, and all of those things come into play with, do you want to do wrapped loops or do you want to use simple loops? For me, how I make the distinction is if they are heavier beads, if they are expensive beads, then I will use a wrapped loop. If it's a costume jewelry piece, the beads aren't that heavy, then I will use just a simple loop. For the purposes of this, I'm going to make this bracelet with just simple loops because it's going to go a lot faster. Speaking of tools, there are tools that you can use to make loops, and I'm going to show you one. We're going to go back to our head pin, our daisy spacer, fingers. Come on, cooperate with me, my sweets. Head pin, daisy spacer, one of my stone beads, and another flower. So this is a excuse me, this is a looper, one-step looper. They come in different sizes. This one is a 1.5 millimeter. It's making a 1.5 millimeter loop, which is basically what comes with most of your commercially made eye pins. You string your beads on to your head pin. From the left, I'm going to slide this through, and there is actually a hole on the back. Let me get it in a good view that wire comes out of. You want to make sure that your beads are up against. If you have a crystal bead here, you want to leave a little bit of space because this piece is going to end up over here. And if you have a glass or a crystal bead, it's going to shatter it. It is a little awkward to hold with your hands, but you will get used to it. People either hate this or love it, but the thing with it is you have to know how to use it correctly. If you don't know how to use it correctly, then you can't hate on it. People are uncomfortable holding this, so they squeeze as fast as they can. The trick to it is to do it slowly. If you do this slowly and then pull this down, it will generally close your loops for you. And that is the trick to the one-step looper. Hello, Karen, Artistic Fusion. How are you, my friend? Hi, Dawn. Mrs. Rogers, hello. We are just doing some basic beading today by popular request. I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm doing a ton of loops, yeah, I might use that looper. Again, tools. I'm doing well. It depends on what you're comfortable with. When I first started making loops, they didn't have all these fancy tools. Exactly, Greta. But they have come out with new and improved tools, and if you're sitting and making 100 loops, this is a lot faster if you know what you're doing. For me, because I'm old school, I'm old, I learned how to do it with my round nose pliers. Technically, it's faster for me to do it with these. You have to choose what's best for you, is basically how it is. Isn't it a bit more secure, new the round nose pliers? It doesn't matter, I mean, they're both loops. They're they're both loops. You get the same result. It's just what's more comfortable with you when you're beading. Um, I personally prefer wrapped loops. Like, if I'm making handmade jewelry to sell, I always use the wrapped loops because it makes sure that my stuff is gonna stay on. You have to decide what you're making, who you're making it for, and you gotta know your why. Why are you doing this and who are you doing it for? I know that if I made myself a bracelet with simple loops, I would lose half the things the first time I wore it. And it's not because of my beading skills, it's that I beat the crap out of jewelry when I wear it. Hi, Amberly. How are you, beautiful? I was talking about you earlier. It was all good, by the way. I'm good. I kind of feel like I'm going into food coma. I started my show late because Rob brought me food. And so I actually started my show late so I could actually eat. Go me. Um, and we are just thicker head pins are good. He brought me a lemon berry slushie, and I'm just like happy as could be over that. I'm sitting here sipping on that. If you've never had it, I don't know what you're missing out on, but um Sonic has fresh lemonade slushies, and I have them add fresh strawberries to it. It's kind of a little treat. I just there's so much sugar in it. Oh my god. Chloe, tacos. Tacos, my love. You know I love tacos. Wrapping with a thinner gauge for wrapping. Yeah. I mean, and that goes into delving into a whole thing of making your own head pins. Did you make them or did you go out to eat? That's the question. Tacos. There's nothing like homemade tacos. Chicken enchiladas. Y'all have Mexican food. You went out tonight. Awesome. So, I mean, if you're making your own head pins, then you can choose the gauge of your wire and on and on and on. Um, the head pins that I sell are a 20 gauge and they feel almost like a stainless steel, but they're not. They're plated. So I like the sturdiness of them, but some people think it's too hard to work with them. So I mean, it's all about a personal choice. And there again, it rolls back to, what is your purpose for making a piece of jewelry? Are you going to wear it daily or are you going to wear it every once in a while? No, honey, you're on camera. Do it correctly. She's so Pete. So, again, if you are doing a simple loop like this, I'm pulling my pliers just like a smidge, like my thumbnail barely fits in there. Bending it to the side, hold it with my finger so I can measure that 3/8 of an inch or a half an inch or whatever you want to do. Snipping and holding, set it aside, grabbing my round nose pliers, making sure this is flush, rolling, 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 and you just keep releasing and rolling until that meets and that loop is closed. Simple. And here's the thing, people say it's hard, they say they can't do it, they say all I mean, I've heard it all. The thing with it is, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And that is just all there is to it. Hi, Danielle. How are you doing today, dear? The more you do it, the easier it gets. Just remember that. If you try it once and it's too hard and you never go back to it, well, then you gave up. Do you think that I was able to sit here and whip through loops this quickly the first time I did it? Oh, absolutely not. But I've been making them for 40 years. I cannot emphasize this enough. The more you do it, the easier it gets and the better you get at it. And that is just facts. Guaranteed to say some swears at the first 5 or so, but it gets better, right? It's like, why did I let Tam talk me into this nonsense, right? I'm pretty sure Chloe and I like FaceTimed a couple of times and I like showed her over and over. And it's like, sweetie, it's really easy. Let me show you. And so we just went over it and she started doing it. And the look on her face when she got it, the light bulb exploded and it was like, oh. And the thing with it is, if you watch me and you hold your tools exactly like I do, and you do exactly what I do, that may be awkward for you. I hold my tools a certain way out of habit. Maybe doing it this way is not comfortable for you. Maybe doing it this way feels weird. Maybe you need to hold it a different way. Um, it's not really, you don't have to do it exactly like me. It's what your end result's going to look like here. And I know it is so opposite of everything I do in my art room. I tell you, it's the process, take your time. We don't care if you come out with a piece that looks like um, you just splattered paint everywhere. The whole point of creating art is that process of splattering that paint everywhere. You're not doing a portrait. You are creating. In the bead room, it is exactly opposite. In the bead room, I don't care how you hold your tools. I don't care if you roll your loops away from you, if you do it sideways towards you, whatever it is that feels right to you. At the end of the day, you just need a loop. Does that make sense? So it's it's totally opposite. I get it. I know. I hear you. I feel you. But we're doing this and we're creating, and when we hit the end of it, you're going to have some pretty blings. So we're going to pick this up a second. So we have our little daisies. I'm going to just set them out here. So this is kind of middle. That's kind of middle. That's kind of middle. I want to put some of these in between. Do we want them short? Kind of like them short. This is how I design. Absolutely. I kind of like them short. So as I'm laying this out, I'm looking at this and I'm judging how this is going to look. And I think I kind of like it. input. Yeah. How's that for a little charm bracelet? Simple, pretty, bam, done. Yep, I think we're going to roll with that. Okay, so back to our simple loops. Um, Here we go. Couldn't find my pliers for a second. Again, holding it up against, pull just a smidge away so you have room to turn, bend it over, flat side up against, hold that, snip, round nose, holding that, wrap, 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 just keep going till you get to there, to where it's touching. I'm going to keep right on doing that. Yes, ma'am, I saved them. You'll notice I have a pile going over here. Absolutely, I saved them, and I'm going to show you what I do with them in a little bit. I know a lot of people like the simplicity of getting like shorter head pins for shorter projects, and people wouldn't have these long ones. They'd have ones that are the correct length for their project and yada, yada, yada. Okay, I get that. But here's my thought process. I buy 2 to 3 inch head pins. I'm doing these drops, and then I have my leftover stuff to do another project. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 kind of thing, right? I would like to point out that these shorter ones are harder on your hands. So just be aware that it's getting a little struggly here. Is that a word? It's struggly. Um, Holding onto my little pliers. And this is why I say, see how I'm not holding onto it? That one step looper, when you're doing a lot of loops, is a good tool to have because I wouldn't be struggling like this if I was using that. But I want them to all look coherent in size. And I know what size I'm using over here, and I don't want to start over. So snip, snip away. Doing this. Get a hold of it. And roll, roll, roll. Bam, our loops are all done. Okay. So when you go to put a charm bracelet together, there's a couple of things you can do. I want to leave a little space, like 2 or 3 loops at each end, because that's where my toggle or my connector is going to be. My clasp, geez, words. My clasp is going to be down here. You can be uber particular, or you could be Maple. Why didn't you tell me? I would have brought this shit to you. So much of it. Yeah, I think she'll be okay with it. I learned to crochet when I was much younger than her, actually. So you can literally count the number of rings, or you can just eyeball it. Whatever works for you, whatever you prefer. Um, because she wants it now. I know. I don't know where she get that from, Miss Maple. So when you're putting these on, just like when you're opening a jump ring, same concept here. You don't want to mess up the integrity of your ring, so you're going to open it sideways, okay? I'm going to hook this onto my ring. I'm going to close it sideways. And there we have it. I'm going to grab my next one. Open it sideways. Now you want to pay attention to how your bracelet's laying and what side you're putting your loops on. I'm going to go with that one. If you have directional charms, this often becomes a little challenging, but at the end of the day, they're easy to remove and put back on. Not a lot of work. Side to side. Basically what I'm doing right now is putting it on one, skipping a couple, putting it on one, skipping a couple. They're not going to be perfect by any means because I'm not really counting what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get them on the same side, if that makes any sense. Did that make sense? Made sense in my head. And I'm just going to keep going down the bracelet until I get them all put on. Are they perfect? Nope. Do they need to be? Nope. Perfect. And see, Maria, you get me. 1, 2. This one. Go, 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 gadget. Oh my gosh. I hate when I do this. I don't get it quite wide enough, but I don't want to set everything down, so I'm struggling with it. Now we just need a nice Italian horn. Oh, girl, you asking for the moon. You know my brain is frying right now, right? My brain is on fire. Because I know I have them. It's just a matter of where. And yes, I'm looking to the side of the camera for this because this can be kind of challenging to an old lady's eyes. I'm sorry. And I just realized I'm going to YouTube. They probably think I'm batshit over there. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. I'm live streaming on Whatnot. And if you want to join in the chat and the fun, by all means, click on the link above and come join us because we have a great group of creative people over here. We hang out together, we have a good time, and it's a whole thing. Yes, I do sell charm bracelets. I probably currently do not have any listed in my bin because I believe they are still in my container from my last in-person show. If there is something that you are specifically looking for, you are welcome to send me a DM and I can go through and see what I have. I do have some themed ones. Pretty sure I have like a couple of Alice in Wonderland ones. I have sewing ones. I have some Halloween ones, some Christmas ones. Some that are just like blingy like this with just beads. So whatever it is you're looking for, if I don't have it, I can make it. Um, I generally sell these for like $30, just to give you an idea of what they are. Um, I know I'm going to hate myself for this, and I should have spread this out more. But there's a reason behind what I'm doing right this very second. Um, So we have 4 inches of dingles. Hmm. Hmm. Things that make you go, we need more. It's not full enough for me. How many of y'all that know me are cracking up right now? Where'd those flowers go? Bada bing. So we are going to do this. You saw that coming a million miles away. Yes, Maria, you know me. Because I have a mission in mind here. So what I wanted, I suppose I should tell you what my mission is. My mission is I want a full charm bracelet, but I also want to leave like an inch and a half down here. So this becomes adjustable. So anybody in any size can wear it. And that is one of the things that I try to do with my jewelry is that they're accessible to most people. The average size bracelet is like 7 1/4, but if I made all 7 1/4 inch bracelets, what are those people that have a 6 inch wrist gonna do? What are the people that have an 8 inch wrist gonna do? And so when I'm making jewelry, I do my best to God, that looks like crap. To make sure that if at all possible, I make them adjustable. Sometimes the design just does not lend to adjustable, and I offer free adjustments. Say you see a bracelet that I've made and you're like, "Oh, I really need that bracelet," and I I can't wear that size. Um, I 9 times out of 10 will adjust it for free. Stray cat, right? Like my best friend Bailey, hers is like 5 3/4. When I made her leather wrap bracelet, girl, I made that 3 times before I got it the right size. And I've been doing this stuff for a long time. But her wrists are so tiny. Now, mine's a 6 1/2, but I like big bracelets. So I'm good with the regular 7 inch because I need that stuff to move. Because tight, and that's not happening in my world. I will catch it on something and it'll be broken the first time I wear it. Um, so I like to, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, but I just like want to include everybody. I actually had, when we did an in person, um, I had a lady that was just like looking at jewelry, and her friend is like, "Come look at this." And she's like, "No, nobody ever has anything that fits me." And she was a bigger lady. And I said, "Sweetie, come take a look because honestly, I make all sizes and most of my things are adjustable. And if you don't, if you find something you like and it doesn't fit you, girl, I have my stuff with me. I'll make it fit you." And the lady came over and she saw this bracelet. She's like, "Oh, this is really pretty." And I'm like, "Let me see. How much, where do we got to go with this?" And so I actually made it to where it fit her. And that lady had tears in her eyes. And she's like, "Nobody ever makes stuff that fits me." And it just makes me so happy. And it's moments like that that make handmade worth it. I'm telling you. Because having the ability to just whip it out and make somebody's life so much better, to make their day so much better, that they actually got jewelry that they can wear, is it's just that means a lot to me. Skip one, put it on. Okay. So, anyhow, I'm off my soapbox, guys. It fell out of my hand. Got it. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's no reason for somebody to be excluded because they can't fit something. That's ridiculous. Okay. Did I put that on the wrong side? I did not. I did. See? So I'm holding, can you see that? So I'm holding it up, checking to make sure everything's hanging correctly. This one's on the wrong side. Why? I don't know. Don't know. It's weird. It's upside down. Needs to be on the other side. So we're going to fix it before we go any further. And these are just the little tweaks. If this were a manufactured bracelet by a machine, it would be forever on the wrong side. Because that's how that rolls. So we're just going to take that off. We're going to put it on the other side. We're going to hook it. And I know I preach a lot about the handmade, but you guys, it is just, it's a whole thing. Okay, now we're back in business. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a yeah, Maria makes beautiful jewelry, y'all. So what are we doing here? So we're going to go back to this. Remember this whole pile of stuff we have over here? Yeah. So there is such a thing that is called an eye pin. You can purchase pre-made eye pins, and all it is your pin, but it has a loop at the end. Because I've kept these, we're getting ready to make our own. We made simple loops, right? We're going to do it again. Grab a hold of that end, make sure it's flush, roll it around until it touches. But I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to give it that little jag. So I put my plier right where that met, give it a little jag, make sure it's closed, straighten it out, and I've just made a head pin. So all of these pieces are not wasted. We don't throw those away. We use those. It's very important that we have those. Don't throw them away. We're going to use them. Lilac Bloom, my beautiful friend, how are you? So here we are. We're going to put our lobster down here, which is going to be our clasp. This is going to be our adjustable end to whatever size you want to hook this that's going to fit you. But this is just bare. So we want to have like one of these little flowers dangling down here just to kind of tie it all together. How are we going to do that? We're going to do it with one of these. Thank you. Yeah, I show how you use everything. It is important to use everything and not throw stuff away. The other thing that we could do with this bracelet, just to give it a little zhuzh, this may be a little big, but I think it's gonna, we could put a little daisy there. And we can pull a green bling. I like that better. That's better. Okay. I like it better. So we're going to stick this on. Nope, I'm going to put my little daisies on because I want to protect this crystal. Don't want it to get mushed. So this is the piece that we're reusing that's left over from this, y'all. Like we're repurposing metal that most people would have thrown away. It's repurposing. We're going to make another simple loop. We're going to bend it. That's really long. We're going to cut it. I am, again, hey, okay, Lilac, don't go anywhere. I need to show you something, but I got to finish this bracelet first because my squirrel brain will never. I want to show you some things that I did for your train. Could you shout out your train for everybody while I'm finishing up here, please, love? I know, I'm just like putting you on the spot. Shout out your train. You guys, I'm in this most awesome train. I'm so excited to be invited to this train. I can't even. It's her first one. Okay, so I'm going to open this loop that we made. Open it up. I'm going to hook on our charm. I'm going to close this back up. And then this other end, because what we're doing is we're just basically making an end to our bracelet to make it look a little fancy. It's a fancy thing. So we're going to open this loop up. We're going to hook that at the end of our bracelet. We're going to close it up. Close it, Missy. There you go. So that's the end of our bracelet. So we need something over here that's going to hook over into all of this. So we are going to grab, look at me go. Do I have any of the daisies or did I sell them all? Ooh. All right, I have some daisies left. We're golden. Come on, unhook me. Unhand me, friend. This is the joy of being a bead seller. You have packages upon packages of stuff sitting beside you. So when you're designing, you can just like go, oh crap, I need this to do this. Look at this lovely little one I have. Bada bing. Okay. So we determined that this is soldered. So we're going to snip that a little bit. Just break that solder. We are going to open this side to side, just like we did before. Get a hold of it, Tam. Open side to side. We're going to hook that through our clasp. We are going to close it side to side. Make sure it clicks in. And bada bing. We have a charm bracelet that is adjustable. This goes, I mean, for reals, we could hook it like in here. And this could be a, oh, look, it's so adorable. This could be a 6-inch bracelet all the way. We're going to hook the very last one. Where are we at? All the way to a 7 3/4-inch bracelet. So this, however dainty it may be, is very versatile. If somebody needed it to be longer, I can just add more chain in here. If somebody needs to be shorter, I could scooch these up. Try it on. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. So we're gonna go around. Oh, let's do it this way. I'm backwards. I have to hold it up against me, kids. Sorry. So see, I'm frozen. Frozen. It just dangles all the way around. And then I have this little dangle here. That's just like a little charm. Thank you. So, I mean, some basic beading, and you have a fun bracelet. You are very welcome. Don't be sorry. Please don't be sorry. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you giving me a project to do because, quite frankly, I had no flipping clue what I was going to do. So, much love to you for giving me that focus. I appreciate you. So, we have all these beads hanging out over here, and this is just me because this is what I do. We're going to set that bracelet aside and understand when I'm doing stuff like this disaster up here is from last week, but I had to leave really quick. So I get some leeway with that. But all of these pieces that are left over, oh shoot, no, lilac bloom. Before I start there, I'm gonna set this here so I don't forget this. But Reggie, I have to show you what I've been doing. So for your raid train, I started tearing apart old costume jewelry that was broken, whatever. I mean, you all the things. So what I've been doing is I've been making a series. These are for journals. These hook onto the spine of your journals. Um, these are called bulb pins, which you're a sewer, I'm sure you probably know that. But I've been making all of these with repurposed jewelry. These actually go into your glue. So, like, you have your glue bottle that you're working with, and here, I'll grab one over here. So, instead, if you lose your lid or whatever, these actually go down in your glue bottle to make it decorative. So, I've been making a bunch of those. And I just wanted to share with you that you have renewed my love of repurposing old jewelry. This is just like a little clip. You could clip it on a jewelry, on a journal. You could clip it on your jewelry. You could clip it on a necklace and have a dangle. You could clip it on your shirt, on your jeans, on your backpack, on your purse. So these are all the fun little things that I have been putting together and making for your train. So thank you for renewing my love of repurposing things with the jewelry that I have laying around here that needs a purpose in life. These are like vintage. These beads were probably made in like 1940, 1950. They're like so old, but they're still pristine. These are called wedding cake beads. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. Here's some other little dangles that I've made. I will have all of these available window charms. Yes. I will have all of these available to purchase in Lilac Bloom's Raid Train on the 24th. I sell them here on Whatnot. Yeah, you can make bigger ones for garden stakes. You can do all the things. They could go in your plants. But I've been working, making stuff as I've been cleaning, tearing stuff apart. I've been making some stuff instead of throwing all of the beads in a container and not dealing with it. I've been actually making stuff. Another thing that I've been doing is I always have a jar of dangles. So, like we just made this bracelet, if somebody wants a dangle at the end of their bracelet or necklace or whatever they buy, I can go to this bin and I can just, or this glass jar, and I can grab whatever I need. So back to the question is, do I reuse these? I have these extra beads sitting on my little desk here. So absolutely I do. Um, I will go through them. I will make loops. I throw the bead on, maybe. Um, and I do this a lot differently than if I'm teaching, but literally one pair of pliers. I just use this. I swing it around, I push it back, close it up, and that goes in the bucket if I need green beads. Do I watch TV when you are creating? I do not even watch TV when I'm not creating. Um, we have a TV in our house because a lot of times Rob will watch like his he watches anime, he watches I don't know what else, I don't know what he watches. I don't watch TV. Um, if you asked me what were shows on regular TV, I honest don't know. Yeah, I don't watch TV. It's boring. My brain is its own entertainment. I will often have people's shows on. Yeah, Rob has crap. I don't know if he's still listening to me. I know he's got Netflix. Um, I think there's a couple others that we have. Um, yeah, no. No, I don't do TV. It's boring. So there you go. Um, I will listen to music. I will. I don't know. He did get me watching this one series. Shit, I don't even remember the name of it. Hmm. Rob, are you listening to me still, or did you go do your thing? I don't know. He had computer work to do for work, so I don't know if he's even paying attention. Um, there was a couple of series that he had me watch with him that were kind of good, but I could make it through like one or two shows and then I'd get bored out of my mind and get up and leave. Um, what are they? Shoot, I don't remember. It was some a hunky guy with long blonde hair, I know that. And The Witch Hunter. Is that it? The Witch Hunter? I don't create in silence. Well, right now I'm in silence because I'm streaming to YouTube and I don't want to get banned for copyright infringement. But I usually create with music on, or I will have somebody's Whatnot show on. I very rarely will I have like sales shows in because then I feel obligated to pay attention. I will have creating shows on. Thank you, Moody. Yeah, Moody Virgo, you got it. The Witcher. Yeah, he had me watch that with him. It was pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know. What was the other one that we got? I actually buy. Here's the. I'm a dumbass, guys. I bought him, I buy him, like, CDs of series because, I'm always creating and he's always on his own, and I don't want him to be bored, so I buy him cool stuff to watch, and then it's like, "Oh, but what, you want me to watch it with you? No, 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 this was for you." Honestly, sweet he may have watched it, I don't know, I have no idea. I can't tell you. I know that he likes anime, I know that. He likes, different I mean, we watch different things. But anyway, I started to say I got him gosh, I'm just gonna shut up because my brain's not working today. I got him a series, and I'm pretty sure we got through, like, the first season because I would make a point to go sit down. Um, oh, I'll read. Oh, yeah, I read all the time. Give me a good book to read. I'm half camper. I will sit still for a book. That's that's a whole thing. I love reading. Well, that's everything for me, Maple. Like everything. Oh, look, I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to fix this. So I cut this too long and it has this funky neck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snip just so like this is this much too long. So I'm gonna snip a almost same amount off of the end here, cover it so it doesn't fly anywhere. See, it stabbed me. That's what I was talking about. They're mean. They stab you. And then I'm gonna keep rolling. I got it too long. So that's how you fix it rather than having to start over. It's a whole thing. It's a deal. Right? Maple's live thrifting shows are just like mind bog I've actually went with her in the person and I mean, you guys know I'm kind of OCD sometimes about things, but I felt like I was like I was she would walk away from her purse and like she just trusts that everything's gonna be just fine. And I was like having a heart attack a couple times and she just goes about her business and it's like she has this whole she has an aura about her that it's all gonna be fine. And the crazy part is it is. That's when you first found me for my live with Maple. Yeah. That was so much fun. But it's always fun when Diana and I hang out together. So there is that, but us in public together is entertaining. Somebody asked me the other day if we were related because we are so much alike. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, "Oh, we should have been sisters because yeah, um, I'm not quite old enough to be her mom, but close." So there. So I still have these extras. Obviously, I'm not doing anything with them, right this I guess I could with those beads that are left up there, but anywho. So I'm just making these into little eye pins for future use. They will not go to waste. And by me making them into the eye pins, I know what they are. A lot of times I work with wires and I'm not real positive what's laying over here. Like I've got a whole pile of it. But the fact that I make these into eye pins intentionally, I know that this is the same material as my head pins and that it's all going to work out. Um, and so there is a pile for the next time that I create stuff. I can just grab these and make dangles. Bam. So we have dangles that are going to go in our dangle bin. we have a gorge bracelet that is, oh, we could run the gorge bracelet. Should we run the gorge? Sure, we're gonna run the gorge. Let's, because we can. I can, it's my show. I can do what I want, right? So we're gonna run this bracelet. If anybody is interested in grabbing it, there you have it. All good. Pretty blingy, adjustable, 6 to 7 3/4, we said. Thanks for taking a look at it. Thanks for hanging with me while I made it. I had a lot of fun with you all today. So, I think that it is probably a good time for us to raid into another person. I am going to go spend some time with my hubby, and then I'm going to go play in my art room. I started a project last night. I don't know if you were in the raid train, but I demoed jelly printing on fabric. And I am actually working on a fabric journal right now. And I just sewed the first half of the pages last night before I went to bed. And so I want to go do the other side so I can get it all sewn together and get going with it. I think it's going to be a place where I keep the, I did ran it. Do you want me to ran it again? See, aren't you proud of me? I ran it. I ran it. I'm ranning the bracelet. I know. I'm not for you. You have to remind me to run things because I forget. Thank you. It's a beautiful thing. You're good. I think it's a whole deal. But yeah, so please bookmark my upcoming shows. I have a show scheduled tomorrow. It's kind of like one of those float around shows. I might thank you, love. I might come on tomorrow and sling some beads. I might come on tomorrow and play in the art room. You just never know what I might do, but I've got that show just in case I feel like coming on and playing with y'all. If there's anything in particular you need, you're looking for, however that works, please send me a DM. If there's something you're looking for, I'm like 95% sure it's probably in my house. Um, I have beads, I have art supplies, I have findings, I have all the things. So, much love to all of you. I appreciate you. Who should we go see? Do we want beads? Or do we want paper crafting? Or what do we want, my friends? Reggie, thanks for hanging out. Why can't I get out of this? It's giving me fits, guys. Whatnot is not my friend today. It's telling me that I have no friends on live. Does that mean all my friends left me? Should I be sad? Or should I think that we should probably just reset this and see where it's at? Well, you know what? Chloe was hanging out with us earlier. Let's go see what pretty stuff she's got. We're going to go see Miss Chloe. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I so appreciate you so much. You all are awesome. You make it possible for me to continue showing up. So much love to you. Good night, Moody. Thank you so much for your help today. You have been just a rock star with me today, so thank you. Much love to everyone. Have a blessed night, Maria. Much love. I will see you all probably tomorrow. Bye.